Which OSI layer is responsible for handling this type of packet, this packet type? We see a source, destination IP address. Our protocol, of course, is ICMP, and we're seeing echo request as our packet type. What type of, or I should say, which OSI layer? Which OSI layer is responsible for handling this packet type if you're looking at this one? What do you think? Let's just run in this one. Layer 5, session layer, deals with session management, right? This is the setup and teardown of the session is normally what the session layer is normally meant for. If you're having trouble remembering that layer 5 is the session layer, you can always use that old saying, please do not throw sausage pizza away. That, of course, means physical for P, and then data for D, do not, right? Not being network, throw is T, transportation, sausage being S for session, P for presentation, and then A for application. So please do not throw sausage pizza away. You memorize that one, you'll be good to go. All right, let's hit layer 2 next. The data layer handles transmission between devices on the local area network, not ICMP. That leaves layer 4 and 3, or 3 and 4 respectively, as our top 2 answers on the board. Do you remember which one's correct? Do you remember which one handles it? Well, if you said transport layer, you'd be incorrect. That manages end-to-end connections and error recovery. TCP, UDP would be those protocols, but not ICMP. Not ICMP. That would be layer 3, the network layer. The network layer handles ICMP traffic. That's where that goes in. That's going to be our answer. D, layer 3. There it is. All right, question number 2. Which fire suppression system is best suited for protecting data centers with minimal damage to electronic equipment? Minimal damage to electronic equipment. I get asked by students all the time, do I really need to know this? It has nothing to do with networking. Yes, you do, and yes, it does. We need to understand all attributes of our data centers. We need to understand the attributes of where our server's at, and if there is an environmental concern, how to deal with those little environmental concerns, how to deal with those little problems associated with fires, floods, and all the other great stuff. We need to know that. We need to know that. So which fire suppression system is best suited for protecting data centers with minimal damage? FM200. FM200, of course, is a fire suppressant agent. Is it the best answer for this one? Is it? What do you think? Then we have B, dry powder. Now, dry powder is effective. It 100% is, because it smothers the flames, but it leaves a residue, and that residue could potentially cause some damage to some electronics, right? Not only that, but you could be cleaning up for a while. So I'm going to say with B is not probably the best answer. Probably not the best answer, especially the ones given here. Then we have C, water mist. Water mist, of course, highly effective for cooling and suppressing fire, but unsuitable for electronics. Not something we would want in our data center, especially for water damage, right? That leaves CO2. CO2 and FM200 are the top answers on this one. Which one do you think? If you guess C, B, or C, take another guess at it. What do you think on this one? If you said CO2, it is effective in closed spaces, but you could suffocate from it. But it doesn't say anything about safety. It only says for minimal damage. FM200, however, is a clean fire suppression agent that quickly extinguishes fires without damaging sensitive equipment. So we have the same thing, both CO200 and FM200. The big difference being CO2 is effective in enclosed spaces, not in large data centers. Other than that, it's also dangerous. It really is. FM200 is going to be the best answer. It is. It's going to be the best answer on the board, especially for a data center. Non-corrosive and safe for use in environments such as data centers. That's where FM200 really comes into play. There's our answer. All right, question number 3. Which item poses the most significant security risk if found during dumpster diving? Dumpster diving being, of course, that thing where we jump into diapers. Jump into diapers? Jump into dumpsters. Oh my gosh. So what is the most effective? What's the most effective, or I should say, significant security risk? I can't even talk anymore. I've fuddled myself. All right, A, B, C, or D. Let's answer this. Let's start with A, shredded internal policy documents. Shredded documents can be put together very easily. I know, cross-shredded, probably not so much, a little bit difficult, but anything's possible with enough time. And so definitely maybe on that one. Expired hardware asset tags. Little actionable information for an attacker on this one. No direct security threat with asset tags. At best, especially because we're not talking about serial numbers. We're talking about the barcode for a SOX audit is usually what I think of. And that's not something I'm worried about because there's really no way to trace it back unless you have access to the database. And so B, not really a likely answer. C, outdated user credentials. User credentials or user account credentials. I can see where this could come into a problem. But what about shredded internal document? I mean, I think C is a good one. Is it better than A? I don't know. And then what about D? Paper copies of discarded invoices. They could expose some company information, right? Especially for financial information. They could also tell us, what they ordered, especially from an IT perspective. They could tell us almost what type of servers they're running. We could get a good idea about that. But is it as important as internal shredded policy documents? I mean, it's not shredded. But at the same time, I don't feel like invoices are near as bad as internal policy. And so I think it really comes between A and C. I'm going to keep A and C because I think outdated user credentials are better than D too. So A and C, top answers on the board between A and C. If you guessed A, shredded internal policy documents, this is your hint to pause it if you need to, you'd be incorrect. Outdated user credentials. Why outdated user account credentials? Because there's password reuse, right? People reuse passwords, and that could be a problem. It could also be the fact that even though we think they're outdated, they're really not. How many times have we found in a secure environment where somebody has used an old password and then they came back to it, right? I know people that have literally, they put like a 24-hour response, or you can't reuse the same password for 10 times. They literally create 10 new passwords and then get to the 11th one and make it the exact same password they used before. Yes, we've seen that in the past, and that is an issue. And so outdated user credentials, definitely going to be the biggest problem on that one. There we go. All right, question number 4. Which command would be used to verify the interface's operational state? We see the show running config provides us an interface of fast Ethernet 01, IP address, full duplex, and then speed of 100. But which one verifies the operational state? Which one verifies the operational state? Let's jump right into this one with A. Show VLAN. This would display the VLAN configuration, but not the interface. Not the interface status, right? And that's what we want. So I think we get rid of A. We have show ARP. Displays the ARP table, that address resolution protocol table, and can provide us a map of the IP addresses and MAC addresses, but does not tell us what the operational state of the unit is. That is not part of it. That means it's either C or D on this one. C or D are going to be the top answers on the board. What do you think? What do you think on this one? Well, if you said C, show version, this displays system information. It shows us the router uptime. It shows us the software version, but it does not show us the interfaces. Show IP interface brief shows us the interfaces. That's literally what it does, right? Provides a summary of the interface status, and that's what we're looking for here. That's going to be our best answer. It's going to be D. D is going to be the answer on this one. All right, question number 5, last question for the day. A network engineer is configuring time synchronization across devices in an industrial network. The devices must synchronize with high precision and support master and slave configurations, also known as primary and secondary clock configurations. Which time synchronization protocol most suits high precision synchronization in a master slave or primary secondary configuration? What do you think on this? I'm going to start with D on this one. I really am. Radius. I feel like we can get rid of Radius, right? It's an authentication protocol, not a time synchronization protocol. Very easy to get rid of that one. That leaves us A, B, or C, NTP, PTP, or SMTP. Now, if you know your acronyms, you know the answer, because this is not a hard one if you know those acronyms, which takes me to my hint, which is know your acronyms. Know your acronyms. If you know the acronyms, 40% in the exam, in my opinion, 40% of the exam can be passed just by knowing acronyms. It really can, because it gives us a hint. And with that said, let's answer this one. If you said A, network timing protocol, it is a timing protocol, but it's not the best answer. If you said C, simple network timing protocol, it's a simplified version of NTP, not our answer. That must mean that B is our answer. Precision timing protocol designed for high precision synchronization, especially in industrial and network environments where clock accuracy is important. That's where that PTP is going to come into play. That's going to be our answer. As always, I'm Dr. K. Please remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.